Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a street race car, so I can't say much about it. So I'm going to try to fill in what I can. And we started off low on pump gas, and this car has flex and single 4303. It's a 6-liter and has a VSracing billet 80 V-band inlet, air-to-air intercooler. Other than that, we started off low on pump, and then we went to about 12 pounds, and he's going to be doing a lot of racing on ethanol. So this has a plug-and-play harness for me that does the alternator and ethanol. So an interesting thing to note without giving anything away is from pump gas to E85, it picked up 100 horsepower to the tire going to E85. Now that is it's tuned, so that's the best power it made on pump. It's not just that we were super conservative and then we're wildly pushing it on E. We leaned up on it, like not lean, but we worked our way up on the pump gas tune-up, and then we went straight to ethanol and picked up 100 rear wheel, and that is with a more aggressive air fuel, not by a lot, and with more timing. I believe it took about 4 more degrees, and we went from an 1130, because it made no difference from a high to a low 11 air fuel, so on pump we left it there, and I think we had a 12.0 air fuel on ethanol. Significantly, or most of the time, I find there is a horsepower difference. E does not like to be super rich on a gas scale, so like 11.0 on lower boost is coughing the thing out most of the time. So it had like a 12.0, and then it picked up 100 rear wheel. Pretty incredible. Not all combos do that. These V-band inlet 80 millimeters have a smaller turbine than like the T6 does. Some people might not know that. And I've done maybe 3 cars with the billet 80 V-band inlet, and they really shine down low and on pump gas. They make outrageous number on pump, and then they kind of cap out earlier than you would expect the billet 80 to go if it had the T6 88 turbine or larger. But other than that, it did really good, and I hope to hear about how well it does. He did email me back and say that he took it for like a short drive because the weather isn't great up here, and he said it was fairly ridiculous on low or medium boost. So I made the dyno clips pretty short. This has a Jags the looser XHD converter. So there's a tight one and a loose one. And this is kind of bullying the converter at the end. You can tell it's very close to the rev limiter at the end. But like I explained to him, and I'll say to you guys, the loss for the converter on the dyno, hitting it, like blindsiding the car in high gear, it always gives you a worst result. Not as good as the track would be, in my opinion. Sometimes you might see 15% slip on the dyno, my dyno, and you might only get 5 or 8 at the track. So it all depends, and it's all about loading it up. The fluid couple in first and hitting second and third while it's already coupled most of the time gets you less loss than smacking it at 50 miles an hour and high. So that's just all there is to that. And I'm excited to see how he does, if he takes it to the track, how fast he goes, etc. I said to him, like, if he mostly does street and 1/8 mile, not really quarter mile distance, I said I wouldn't really change this converter because it being this loose would probably help you out. It comes right up over 6,000 most of those times, and it only struggles at the very end. And I was like, by then you're probably doing what you need to do by then. Otherwise, I said these converters are so cheap, you might just want to get the tighter one and swap them back and forth and see what you like, or swap it before an event, which, I mean, people easily do stuff like that. So there's the quick hits on the dyno, and people that don't care about this are done, and they get that away, get that out of the way right away. So here's all I can really say about that is it did good, and it sounded good, and he was happy. Ta-da.